Tonight on the program, Ghana Union of Traders Association indicates readiness to demonstrate as cedi hits 12 cedis mark to the dollar while depreciation pressures continue.
These are going up because we use the dollar to benchmark our payment of duty. So if even we're able to bring some goods for the Christmas, the price is going to go up.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Union of Traders Association warns there could be skyrocketing prices of imported goods during the festive season due to the unstable exchange rate regime. Plus, government receives 10 million euros from the European Union to support food security in the country. The International Monetary Fund says it is ready to assist countries badly hit by the current global economic challenges. The fund has been warning the worst is yet to come for the global economy. Speaking at the annual IMF World Bank meetings in Washington, D.C. in the U.S., the IMF boss Kristalina Georgieva noted that everything must be done to support countries that are struggling. George Riafe sent us this report.
According to the IMF Managing Director, they are taking the steps to ensure that the current challenges with individual countries doesn't spill over to become a global crisis. And that is why she believes that any country that has a problem and is a member of the fund should quickly move for some level of assistance. She's also been talking about a new fund that has been created for countries that has been hit badly by the shocks of commodity prices and food as well. She believes that all these measures, if they are taken right on time, will minimize the global shocks, despite she warning that the worst is yet to come in terms of the aftershocks of the global recession and the current challenges that we are facing right now with the global economy.
We do need to step into our counter-cyclical role proactively, and I do encourage our members not to hesitate. If you think that you need a buffer, we are here for you, and that particularly applies to the innocent bystanders, countries with strong fundamentals hit by exogenous shocks. We have precautionary lending facilities for you. So we are far from being constrained. As you also know, we have come up with this innovation of on-lending SDRs. We are targeting 100 billion. This is additional to our lending capacity of 1 trillion. Should there be a need, we may appeal to our members to do even more. Now the average is around 20% of the SDRs strong economies received. France set up a good example, saying we are going to go to 30%. Let's see how the economy shapes up. Do we need to do more? You're right to say that usually these decisions are taken after a great deal of negotiations in the last moment. We have a deadline mid-December 2023. There is a possibility that we may see some acceleration. Why? Because of the complicated global economic environment. There may be desire to send a signal that the fund is there for the members. And since, as I mentioned in an answer to a question about India, since India is the next chair of the G20, they're very committed to a strong, quota-based, well-resourced IMF. We might see more engagement that comes under their leadership.
From Washington, D.C., IMF headquarters, this is George Riafe reporting from the annual meetings in Washington, D.C., USA.
The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, has indicated its readiness to demonstrate as the cedi crosses the 12 cedi mark to the dollar while depreciation pressures continue. The Ghana cedi breached the mark within just a week, selling at 12 cedis 10 pesos at most forex bureaus or the retail market. A visit by Joy Business to some forex bureaus indicated that most of the operators are selling the dollar for more than 12 cedis. They claim the supply of dollars has reduced significantly. Speaking earlier on the marketplace, President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obing, reiterated the association will go ahead with the closure of shops and further advise the general public to begin their purchases now.
The situation as we see ourselves now, Can't one confidently say that we have been put on autopilot? Because there's no end in sight. There's no solution in sight. And so what should we do? If we are met with such a situation, then the citizens have to rise up and then give a pinch to the authorities. And this is certainly what we want to do. Otherwise, our capitals are almost gone. Right now, more than 50% is gone.
Wow.
And it's very serious. I'm telling you, if this thing continues, most people, businesses have already collapsed. It's not that if it continues, businesses are going to collapse. Most people, businesses have collapsed. And we've lost credibility with our suppliers because we cannot redeem our debts. And most people are not able, going to be able to service their loans because the interest rate has also gone up. So this one is taking a chunk from you, and then the interest rate that has gone up to about 40% is also taken from you, left and right. We are in a dilemma. So we are confused.
After Wednesday's demonstration, then what? What demands are you making?
Yeah,
because you keep making the demands. You're
not at this moment, I don't want to preempt. And then when we do the declaration on Tuesday, we make all our demands known so that we'll give it to government whilst we proceed on with our closure of shops. And what I'll plead with the consuming public is to bear with us this inconvenience, and that once we have ample time, people should do their purchases so that when we close, it's not going to create any inconvenience.
Well, Dr. Obeng is warning that there could be skyrocketing prices of goods during the festive season because of very high import charges as a result of the unstable exchange rate regime.
All the effort that we did, the frustration even to get the officialdom on the table and all that, we think that we are not being taken seriously, even though the Council of State, to tell the truth, have done a yeoman's work. See our elderly people trying to find solution, and then we can, because we started at 10 and we're now 12. So it means that we have to go back on our demonstration to give a pinch to the government that we cannot take it any longer, and that at this stage, all our capital is finished.
Just to make our audience understand the sort of challenge that you are in, you talked, for example, about the high import charges. So if you had this money and you're importing something in January, that has changed tremendously, drastically from January till November. The charges have gone up, and so you want that there could be shortages of goods during the festive season. Yeah,
first and foremost, your capital itself has been depleted about 50%.
Wow.
The money that you would have used to bring these goods, the money itself has been depleted. So are you going to be able to bring the same volume that you used to bring? No. The duties are going up because we use the dollar to benchmark our payment of duty. And every week, the Bank of Ghana keep changing this rate to customs. And that's why we came out to plead with them to peg it at least quarterly for these purposes. Duty have risen to about 40%. So what else can we do? So if even we're able to bring some goods for the Christmas, the price is going to go up to the extent that affordability is going to be a problem. Already, the consuming public is overstressed.
Away from that, the government has received 10 million euros from the European Union to support food security in the country. This follows the adverse impact of the Russia-Ukraine conflict on the economy. The financial support is expected to complement the government's flagship program, Planting for Food and Jobs. Speaking at the handing over ceremony of the facility, the deputy of the European Union head, Peter Smith-Van, said the gesture is to support Ghana's agri-value chain in the wake of global uncertainties.
This support, ma'am, will help 19 countries to cope with the consequences of the war, notably the food security crisis and related economic shock. And of this envelope, I'm glad to announce the EU is allocating 10 million euros to Ghana, and we will sign the check, the symbolic check, of course, in due course. As my colleague was saying, outside it's raining, and here it will be raining money also for the food security. The new funding comes on top of our €203 million joint programming support already dedicated to Ghana for the time 2021-2024. So what are we going to do concretely? These funds will support families to grow crops so they can generate income and make food readily available and affordable on local markets. The action will also promote climate-smart and ecological approaches in a number of agribusiness, including soybean, beekeeping, vegetables. As it caters to the most vulnerable populations, very important to us, the action will focus on Ghana's northern regions. In general, the EU and its member states are long-standing and strong partner to the agriculture sector in Ghana.
On his part, Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture, Mohamed Hadi, said the support is timely and will go a long way to support the agri sector.
The program is consistent with sector's flagship Planting for Food and Job program and Planting for Export and Rural Development, PED. I have no doubt that it will go a long way to improve the livelihood of communities in the beneficiary regions and the country at large. Ladies and gentlemen, the ramification of COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine crisis threatens to erode the gains made from the Planting for Food and Jobs and complementary programs such as the EU GAP program. This €10 million pledge by the EU has therefore come at an opportune time to support the most vulnerable populations to cope with the ramification of the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the resultant impact on food security. This support will complement government effort to address our food security needs while contributing to sustainable and resilient food systems. We will, however, request that we consider adding livestock, specifically poultry, to the value chains to complement government resolve to revamp the development of the poultry subsector.
A business consultant, Stephen Asian, has advised CEOs of corporate institutions to build relationship with staff and customers to ensure a continuous investment in their business. Speaking at the 2022 International Customer Service Summit here in Accra, Mr. Asian admonished CEOs to continue serving their clients beyond Customer Week celebrations.
The aim of the two-day event, which was held under the theme Celebrating Customer Service the Executive Way, was to get organizational heads and managers to understand the essence and effect of frontliners on the overall corporate image and revenue generation. Business consultant Stephen Asian believes that CEOs must be the first customer service personnel in their company.
My colleague CEOs, one of my points in my presentation was clear on how you need to spend time with the people every quarter, every month if you have the bandwidth to do that. It's not only Customer Service Week. We saw Customer Service Week. All the CEOs are out there taking pictures, but that's not what they do every time. Some CEO, after taking the picture, will never go back and sit with these guys. But you need to create avenue and make sure you are listening to the customer conversation, you are listening to the voice of the customer, you are looking at the key KPIs that need to make the customer happy, because we are in business to serve a customer. Unless you're not in business to serve a customer, once you're in a business to serve a customer, whatever it takes to make sure the customer is excited, you need to do it. It's not just Customer Service Week that you need to show love to your staff and customers. You need to do it. CEOs don't visit their customers. You need to pick your top customers and visit them. Even the low ones that do not do much or give you much revenue. Sometimes you need to spend time with them and find out why are they not spending on your network? Why are they not spending in your hotel? Why are they not spending in the service that you're rendering? You need to find out. As a CEO, it's to be a concern. So you must be the first customer service person in the business.
Touching on the impact of customer experience conversations in the boardroom, Regional Chairman of the Ghana Hotels Association, Dr. Edward Akanyamike Jr., advised businesses to ensure that the various interfaces with customers are well regulated.
Whatever you put out there, whether on your website or even what you tell your customers, what they see at your place, there's some regulation about it. So you have to ensure that you are in the good books of the regulator. Kwame went to the restaurant. If the restaurant doesn't have the Food and Drugs Authority permit, there could be trouble. If it doesn't have the Environmental Protection Agency permit, there could be trouble. And don't forget that when he went to the reception, his data will be taken. Guess what? Data Protection Commission is also there. Okay, so everything that is done at these interfaces must be covered by regulation. And that work is done at the boardroom, at the management level.
On his part, Executive Director of Hospitalented, Damien Duchamp, highlighted the need for firms to invest more in customer experience.
Customer service is the definition of success within the hospitality and tourism industry. If you cannot elevate your delivery of services or products from a customer service perspective, you're not going to succeed in the long run. You may have early gains, you may have early successes, but customer service is experienced at every level within your team, within your vendors and partners that you work with, and certainly within the external customers that buy your product or service.
You're still watching Business Live here on the Journeys channel with me, Beverly Broohm. We take a break. We'll be right back with more. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, in line with Access Bank's global goal of bringing banking services closer to the unbanked, the bank has held a one-day market storm activation of Access Closer at Kaswa in the Central Region. Head of Agency Banking at Access Bank, Hetty Mesa, spoke to Joy Business about the initiative and benefits of Access Closer to the public.
Closer is Access Bank's agency banking, which seeks to bring banking services closer to the doorstep of the unbanked and underbanked population by employing the service of persons in local neighborhoods to serve as agents in offering banking services. Head of Agency Banking at Access Bank Limited, Hetty Mesa, explained to Joy Business the motive behind Access Closer.
So we are excited to bring agency banking to the doorstep of our customers. At Access Bank, our agency banking is called Access Closer. What we believe is that we're bringing banking to the doorstep of our customers to give them convenience in their locations, wherever they live or work or reside or transact on a daily basis. We're bringing banking to their doorstep. What we are saying is that we have trained agents who are conducting or performing transactions on our behalf.
The widely patronized event attracted hundreds of businessmen and market women to Access Bank activation stands to gain an understanding of Access Closer.
It's been good, a wonderful experience, because through the platform or through being Access Closer, I've met a lot of people, even the staff, that without me being an agent, I wouldn't get the opportunity to meet them. So fantastic staff, and then fantastic colleagues that I've met. All we are working together, and aside that, the commission or the payments that I've enjoyed, it's also good.
The Energy Commission is set to promote efficient energy use at various district assemblies, ministries, departments, and agencies in the country. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Oscar Amonu, explained that the move is part of the Commission's mandate to lead energy efficiency awareness creation and implementation through regulation and standards in a bid to ensure the efficient utilization of energy resources in Ghana.
This known during a training program for energy managers in metropolitan municipal district assemblies, micro, small and medium enterprises and hotels in Takoradi. With support from the United Nations Development Program, the training was to help participants control their electricity bills, electricity consumption, and also improve energy efficiency at their outfit.
In our bid to fulfill our mandate, is basically for us to go out to engage stakeholders and be able to educate them in the efficient use of energy, basically electricity in this matter. We are doing this just for the benefit also of the consuming public, because in using electricity inefficiently, it comes to its own additional cost. And these ones too, you must have the knowledge that these are high consuming electrical appliances, and for that matter, when you're using them, you must use them in a more efficient way. So these are things that we are using to encourage and help these industrial users to be able to cut down their costs, because 60 to 70% of your operational costs being on electricity is really huge, and that's the reason why we are targeting them right now to help them with these practices. Is going to reduce it drastically.
Oscar Amono Niza says the Commission, together with the Environmental Protection Agency, sought support from the UNDP to carry out energy and resource efficiency and conservation training for the MMDAs and MSMEs in 6 identified regions.
And now, knowing very well that electricity is not that cheap, it's wise for us to also try to educate the consuming public to be able to use energy in a form that they'll be able to get value for money. So basically, this is the reason why we're going out with this exercise. And we're not only starting, this is just a launch, and we're going around to our 6 regions to do this, so as to be able to engage the public and be able to share knowledge with them as to how they could use electricity much more efficiently.
The head of Environmental and Climate Change, UNDP Ghana, Stephen Kasunk, spoke about this need to promote corporate governance in the business operation of small and medium enterprises and also create opportunities for them.
And we thought that it was important for us to come out around that angle to provide that kind of capacity training for good corporate governance practice for small-scale business enterprises. But beyond the corporate governance, beyond building their capacity to be able to address corporate governance challenges, we thought that it was also important for them to see how we can build their capacities, both technical and financial capacity, to be able to access to finance. And that is one angle of the kind of integrated support that we provide. Business development support, linking them to businesses, linking them to finances, linking them to products. And that is one of the areas of work that we are doing as a part of our inclusive and integrated support to the small and medium-scale business enterprises.
600 personnel benefited from the training to help ensure the prudent use of energy and resources in their establishment for Joy Business in Athalia, Kwanza, Western Region.
And that's how we end the show for tonight. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Beverly Broohm. Enjoy the rest of our programs.